How's it going? Good.
Friends in LA okay with the fires?
Yeah, I've reached out to a few people. They, seems like they're, maybe having to move a little bit or just kind of visit people elsewhere. But yeah, I've been a part of a few of those where we had to get kind of evacuated and moved, and it's brutal. I'm just praying for everybody out there.
If you look back, it's a week one game, so it feels like ages ago. Where do you think your team and your offense have changed the most since week one?
Probably you look at that game, we struggled to, we ran it okay, but we struggled at times. Their front is pretty solid, and, they got a good defense in general in terms of, especially in that front seven, right? And I think we ran it okay, just maybe we sprung a few late, which were good. We had a couple 4, 5, 6 yard runs. We've probably run it a little bit better at this point than we did at that point in the season. But, it's a tough group. I have a ton of respect for Bobby Wagner and what they're doing over there on defense and how they play the game. They run to the football. They do a lot of really good things. They're tackling at a high level. I know that was something he had mentioned in the first game that they didn't do as well, was tackling. You see them tackle a lot better. So don't expect it to be probably like it was the first game. It's going to be a playoff game. We all know what this is going to be like.
Baker to go from throwing, 28 touchdowns last year to 41 this year, despite not having Mike and Chris for a 4-game stretch there. Just what was key to him being able to make such a big jump?
I think you look at some of those games where we got hurt in the red zone, right? You look at the Baltimore's, the Atlanta, the second game, and maybe forcing the ball a little bit in the red zone, trying to make a play. And I think, has it been 100% perfect? No, since those games, but I do think he made a conscious effort as we kind of went through this season to really take care of the ball in the red zone especially, and check the ball down and use his outlets as well as using his legs to his advantage. So, I can't really say what the big jump was from last year to this year. I just think that he did this season start to try to take care of the ball, especially more in the red zone. And I think that led to some easier touchdowns when he was just saying, okay, it's not there. I got this. Let me keep playing, and we did end up having some touchdowns because of that.
And what about the fact that you said that, look, in order for you to go interview with the Jaguars, you guys are going to have to go one-on-one at Sawgrass?
He doesn't want to see me, but no, that's
You don't want that smoke?
yeah, he doesn't want that smoke. No, it's that's not really part of the mindset right now. That's something that if that comes up, that'll be next week after this stuff's done. So, number one mindset's go win this game, and then I'll beat him in golf at some point.
He never stops with the trash talk.
No, he doesn't.
Quarterbacks tend to get judged in the NFL on their playoff success. So Baker's been here now. I think he's played full games. What is it about this time of year that a quarterback has to play different?
Because it's truly win or go home. Like, there isn't anything going next week unless you truly leave it out there and do everything you're supposed to do. And like you mentioned, they do get judged a lot of times based on how you perform in the postseason, when it's crunch time, when it really matters. Not to say that the regular season doesn't, but yeah, the intensity, the stakes are a little bit higher at this time. And I think that any quarterback wants those moments. He wants to have the ball in these type of situations in games to go lead his team to a win. So, as you mentioned, the competitive nature that he has in the day-to-day, I'm sure we're going to see that on full display Sunday night.
Do they dial it up during the week? Do you not want him to be too hyped? There's a lot that can happen.
Yeah. He was pretty intense last few days, so that's a good thing. I think when he's truly like he is in terms of understanding, like he is asking questions quickly, he's on it. Like you could feel it just the way he was throwing the ball in a walkthrough where we're not supposed to throw the ball, or like just when we're doing some jog through stuff out here, he wants to go full speed. So that's a good thing to get him going, and his mindset's in the right place. Hey, how do we just kind of hold that in a little bit as we get towards Sunday night?
Baker had a scramble last game at the beginning of the second half where got the first down. There's a little scuffle with the Saints after. Do you feel that ignited the offense, and is that just kind of what Baker has done this whole season, is be that igniter?
Yeah, I definitely think that had something to do with maybe us waking up a little bit and getting things going. We were maybe going through the motions a little bit, and sometimes in the first half, not taking anything away from New Orleans, they had a great plan and did some good things against us. But, we weren't really kind of playing at our highest level, if you just put it that way. I think when we came in at halftime, we had some conversations about, hey, how do we finish and strain and play the game that we know how we're supposed to play it. When that came out and happened, it helped the guys out, I think, get a little bit of juices going, and ended up seeing some good things after that.
You mentioned the running game against Washington. Obviously wasn't clicking the way it is now. You guys have outrushed your opponents on nearly 125 yards more over the last 7 weeks. Washington, maybe that be the weakness on defense. You kind of see that as maybe a key matchup in this playoff game?
I think in general, our front and their front is going to be a matchup, and I mean not just their front five, but their two linebackers as well. You know, with Luvu and Bobby there. I mean, because they're rushing, right? A lot of the times, whether it's in the drop back pass game, play action, they add fifth rushers often, and then obviously you got that front in general in terms of versus the run and the pass. Our guards, our interior lines got to do a great job, as well as the tackles. But this is a huge challenge for us inside, and the tight ends in the run game. Everybody that's involved in this thing understands that, hey, they got some guys inside that we're going to have to move and displace and not let, wreck the game in ways in terms of the penetration. But we also feel confident that we'll be able to, go out there and do what we're supposed to do on our end as well.
But this is the time of year you want to be able to run.
That's right.
Too.
That's right. I mean, you look at how, okay, we've adapted, right? We've gotten better in the run game. Well, when it really, truly matters is now. In December, when we've got to run the football, when you got to stop the run, all those things, can you do it versus, meaningful opponents in a playoff atmosphere? Can you go run the ball the way you're supposed to and the way we want to? That's got to be a key to success for us this game for sure.
One key to success for Baker Mayfield this season has been him against the blitz. He has 17 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Really his best year this year against the blitz. Why do you think that is?
I think maybe just some of the understanding of the protection schemes a little bit better for him, and having a great understanding of everything that's going on around him, knowing maybe where his quick element throws are, where we can just spot up completions versus maybe fire zones, or, okay, now we're talking about man pressure, man dog, as you saw versus zero blitz the other day when we were driving down. He hit Mike Evans on a quick slant from the slot. That was versus a zero blitz. He did a great job getting the ball out and beating the blitz. So, he plays fast most of the time. Like when that ball is coming out and he's spitting and dealing, that naturally happens a lot of times. So especially versus blitz, that ball can come out fast, and that's obviously been a recipe of success for us in general this year.
You had mentioned earlier this week on the NFL Total Access show, you called him, or the Bucs Total Access show, you called him a modern-day Brett Favre.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit of praise for a guy that grew up idolizing him.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's so much of him you can see in the way that they play, right, the way their passion for the game, the way they get their teammates to compete at a high level with them. And that's part of it. You have to lean into that in a way if you're part of the process with him. I mean, some of those things are going to go bad. Some of them are going to be unbelievable. I mean, the throw that he makes to J-Mac in the corner of the end zone off schedule on a play that they had to make in a critical moment. I mean, there's not a ton of guys making that throw. And so, the scrambling, gained 68 yards rushing. I mean, he played his tail off for us, and you have to lean into that because that's really part of what makes him great, as well as that attitude, that mentality, and a little bit of that gunslinger mentality as well.
I was going to say that J-Mac throw, about his backyard football of the game.
That's about his backyard. I mean, we had a quarters beater on, and they ended up playing a cover 2 defense that the look wasn't perfect. He really had to go to the other side and probably check it down to Bucky, but he moves off his spot, gets to his right, finds just a little window in that end zone, man, and those guys made a great play. So you live with those plays.
The relationship between quarterback and offensive line, you play the position, it's always important, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does Baker and those guys kind of take it to a different level in some respects, just the friends they are on off the field?
I would say so. I mean, they vacation together, they go out, they hang out together after every game, they're together. Tuesday mornings when everybody's out of the building, they're in here together watching tape and doing the protections and understand what we're trying to get done. So you do see a different level of camaraderie there where it's truly not just quarterback line. Like they are equals, they are friends. Now, I'm sure that there's a little, busting going on between them in terms of they get on him a little bit, which is good. He needs it. But they're really good friends. They really are, and they care about each other. And that's what really means the most is that they look at him, the way that he competes, the way that he goes after it, and they want to protect him. They want to play hard for him.
Obviously, everybody's seen what Bucky Irving is doing. He's getting a lot of national attention. He's a rookie. Has he changed at all? You've always been saying that he comes in early, does a lot of study.
Right.
With all this attention now, what can you tell us about it?
No, I don't think so much. I mean, he's been as detail-oriented as he has been, honestly. I mean, the guy's battled through some nicks all throughout the season. Hasn't been 100% healthy, as, many of these guys are not at this time of the year, but he's still in at 5 a.m. and he's still coming in to see Coach Moore first thing in the morning, and he's still been, detail-oriented, understand what we're trying to do with the plan, and, he's been a great teammate for these guys, and it's been a joy to coach.
At this point, I think you can only do Zoom calls, with another team.
Yeah, I believe so.
Have you done that, or what is?
No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Just have the one request. That's all I'm aware of at this moment. So that's all I've got going on right now. And
Is that heavy stuff for you right now?
it's not even as much as it's an honor to be even in that category. But that hasn't been something I've worked on much over the last few days. It's an honor, but not something we're thinking about at the moment.
When you think about this season and obviously going into Sunday, just what are you most proud of when it comes to your offense?
I think just like I mentioned maybe a couple weeks ago about like what do I find most interesting or fun about this job is the improvement. Like seeing guys that were already playing at a high level, had already had success, dive into being coached at a high, being coached hard and being challenged by all their coaches each and every day and trying to take this thing to the next level. In a lot of ways, we did that, right? We did that in a lot of ways. This job's not done by any means at all. But these guys have dove into the process. They've dove into the scheme and what we were trying to get done, the culture, what we were trying to build, and they've run with it. And that's really the cool part, is to see them kind of take ownership of this thing and drive the car.
You can sense these guys aren't satisfied with just winning the division.
Yeah.
Super Bowl clearly on the minds of the long run here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you keep going each and every week and see what happens, but I do believe that these guys know, like, we're not surprised to be in the position we're in. Yeah, some things had to go our way in some ways for us to get here, but we've earned the right to be here. And we played some darn good football a lot of times this year. We still haven't all put it all together for 4 quarters as a team. We've shown signs of it, but I'm sure they're excited to kind of keep going with this thing and play some more football, especially maybe getting a little bit healthier in some positions, maybe get some guys back and get back to as close to full strength as we can possibly be at this point in the season and see what that looks like. I think the guys are excited for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.